What would you do to survive if you were stranded in the mountains with no food? Imagine the plight of Uruguayan Flight 571, a routine journey that turned tragic on October 13, 1972. Carrying a spirited Uruguayan rugby team alongside other passengers, they were bound for Chile, eager for a friendly match. But fate had other plans. Amidst severe snowstorms, the aircraft lost radio contact and crashed into the forbidding slopes of Mount El Soldado. The crash was just the beginning of an unimaginable test of survival. Alone, injured, and isolated, the survivors faced the harsh reality. After the devastating crash of Flight 571 in the Andes on October 13, 1972, 27 passengers and crew members miraculously survived. However, their ordeal was far from over. They found themselves stranded at a chilling altitude surrounded by snow-capped peaks with temperatures plummeting well below freezing. In the immediate aftermath, the survivors scrambled to gather whatever was left from the wreckage. The fuselage of the aircraft, partially intact, offered a crude form of shelter against the relentless wind and cold. Food supplies, however, were meager, consisting only of a few chocolate bars, bottles of wine, and other scant rations, which they knew would not sustain them long. As they huddled together for warmth, the survivors took inventory of their resources. They fashioned insulation from airplane seats and used remnants of clothing to patch together rudimentary sleeping bags. Every small effort was a battle against the elements, a fight for survival in the face of overwhelming odds. As days turned into weeks, their hope for rescue dwindled and a grim reality set in. Faced with starvation, the survivors confronted a decision that would haunt them forever. As days turned into weeks, the harsh reality set in. There was no food left. The relentless snow and biting cold of the Andes offered no sustenance, and the faint hope of rescue dwindled with each passing day. In this dire situation, the survivors faced a grueling moral dilemma. The only available source of nourishment was the bodies of their deceased friends and teammates. The very thought stirred a storm of emotional and ethical turmoil. How does one weigh the sanctity of life against the primal urge to survive? It was a question none of them were prepared to answer. After much anguish and deliberation, a collective decision was made. In an act of survival, not of malice, they would use the remains of those who had perished to sustain the living. This decision, born of sheer necessity, was a testament to their desperate will to live. Every passing day tested their limits further, but their will to survive never faltered. Amid the towering peaks of the Andes, the survivors of Flight 571 faced a relentless battle against the cold and the desolation that surrounded them. They crafted makeshift flags from the wreckage, waving them by day in hopes of catching the eye of a distant plane or a far-off escaper. Each attempt to signal for help was a flicker of hope, quickly smothered by the vast, empty wilderness. With food supplies depleted and the harsh weather showing no signs of mercy, the group knew they couldn't wait passively any longer. Driven by a desperate need to find rescue, two of the survivors made a courageous decision. They set out on a perilous trek across the unforgiving mountain terrain, determined to find help or perish in the attempt. Their journey was fraught with challenges, each step a testament to their indomitable spirit and sheer determination to bring salvation to their friends. After enduring more than a month in the extreme conditions, salvation finally appeared on the horizon. When finally rescued, the survivors of Flight 571 brought back with them not just their lives but a story of extraordinary human spirit. The world watched, captivated and conflicted as the details of their survival emerged. Stranded on a desolate mountain faced with the unimaginable, these individuals made decisions that would weigh heavily on any soul. Their story transcended the immediate horror of their situation, touching on the core of human ethics and the boundaries of survival. In the aftermath, the survivors returned to a life far removed from the icy desolation of the Andes, yet their ordeal continued to echo in their minds. Interviews and recounts often revealed a haunted look in their eyes, a mixture of relief and sorrow, an unspoken understanding of the price of their survival. They had stared into the abyss and the abyss stared back, changing them irrevocably. Philosophers, ethicists, and theologians took interest, sparking debates that questioned the very nature of morality under extreme conditions. Can the will to survive justify actions that in ordinary circumstances would be morally reprehensible? This question challenged societal norms and personal beliefs, compelling us to ponder what we might have done, placed in the shadow of death. Their ordeal reminds us of the profound resilience and indomitable spirit that defines the very essence of being human. Through their story, we confront not only the stark realities of survival, but also the incredible capacity of humans to endure, to make unimaginable choices, and ultimately to hold on to life, no matter the cost. Subscribe to our channel to receive the latest updates. Thanks for watching.